Check it out.
So, you want to get better at surviving so you can take on Intensity 5.0. Maybe you're trying to get a badge, maybe you're trying to farm credits, or maybe you just want to get better at the game. Whatever your reason is, you've probably come to the right place. In this video, I'll be giving as much advice as I can on Intensity 5.0, ranging from minor tips to the hidden truth of Super Bomb survival. Like every video, if you end up enjoying this, consider leaving a like and comment. Now let's begin the guide. First, cardio. Actually, wait, no, that's something else. First, awareness. Make sure that you're always aware of your surroundings so that you aren't caught off guard by a bomb you couldn't see. The best way to do this is to keep your ears open and look around. Make sure to be cautious of any place that looks like it could have a bomb hiding there. You should also be aware of positioning. Knowing good positions to be in can make surviving Intensity 5.0 significantly easier. An example of a good position is slopes or ramps, since bombs that fall on top of you will likely roll off and fall into the pit, meaning you have much less to deal with. Also, try to seek out areas with a lot of space to move so you can move out of a bomb's radius. You should make extra sure to never linger at the bottom of the map, since bombs hidden in the lava can hit you without you being able to see them, break the ground under you, or knock you into the lava that'll probably be right next to you, which is never good. Luckily, lava doesn't insta-kill anymore, but you still don't want to swim in it. Ever. Under any circumstances. Another thing, make sure to avoid standing below low roofs, since bombs will likely fall on top of it and damage you without you being able to see them beforehand, which could be especially bad if you get hit with a tea kettle, TNT crate, or poison gas. Next, movement. Having good movement can be the deciding factor between life or death in tense situations. Mastering movement in Super Bomb Survival can allow you to get basically anywhere without much hassle, which makes getting to a good position much easier. But how can I get this movement, you may be asking? Well, here's a few things that can really help you out. First, you can use slits in the walls as a ladder you can jump off of, basically making certain walls a free double jump. Here's how. Once you find a slit in the wall, simply jump at it and hold space. Due to how ROBLOX climbing and jumping while climbing in Super Bomb Survival work, you'll jump upwards and get a free boost. If my explanation is too complicated, just take a look at the footage in the background. Make sure the slit is the right size or you won't be able to climb it and just slide off. Next movement trick is the head hitter, which isn't really exclusive to Super Bomb Survival, but whatever. It's pretty simple on paper, but it can be a bit more difficult in practice. If there's a tile above you and it's low enough, you can jump outwards and onto the tile above you. It's most applicable when there's larger slits in the walls. Once again, refer to the background footage to see how it's done. And now for the last trick, which is a bit advanced and also not exclusive to Super Bomb Survival, this trick being the wall hop. It'll take some practice to pull off on a consistent basis and it'll need shift lock, so sorry mobile users. First, find a wall. It can't be the four walls at the edges of the map. It's most preferable if a wall you're using has tiles that have alternating color. Next, jump into that wall and make sure to hold space and hold W into that wall. Then flick your camera horizontally, that means left or right, and then back in the direction of the wall. You also have to make sure to time your flick so that you flick right as your character's feet touch the top of a tile, and obviously make sure the wall is flat. Doing this successfully will allow you to use nearly any wall as a double, triple, or quadruple jump. Just remember that this doesn't work for a wall that's all one part, so something like the side of a building likely isn't possible to wall hop on. If you're still unsure, then look at the footage in the background to see it in action, and if it seems far too complex for you, which is perfectly fine, then don't worry. It's not really essential or anything, I just wanted to show off an advanced trick. It's pretty overkill and you likely won't need it all that much. But you know what's better than complicated movement tech? Knowledge. Specifically, game knowledge. You don't need to know the hidden truth of Super Bomb Survival to stand a chance in 5.0. That's not that hard, but having game knowledge can really help you make decisions on the fly and know what to watch out for. For example, when you see a red reticle appear on your character for a second then fade away, that means you're being targeted by a homing rocket. And speaking of homing rockets, did you know that the green version only targets one player at a time while the red version targets whichever player is closest to it? I didn't know until somebody told me. Game knowledge can also help you know when to take risks or when to play it safe, and since winning nets you more credits, the more you learn, the more you earn. Game knowledge is especially good for avoiding danger like cursed pizza, fake coins, and the most annoying of all, offense skill users. If my two longtime watchers couldn't tell by now, this video is basically a sequel to my Hardcore 5.0 guide from nearly 2 years ago. Anyways, offense skill users tend to make your already difficult task of not dying quite a bit more difficult. Most of the time they don't really care if the person they hit with the unmatched power of a piano is somebody with 200 HP or 5 HP. Your best bet is to just memorize who is using an offense skill and avoid them when possible. If you see someone sitting right next to you at the beginning of a round or running specifically towards you, it's probably best to just move away from them. Most offense skill users make it fairly obvious that they're after you, so if you just avoid them, they usually won't bother chasing you down and go after somebody else. But if they're using something like air dash or wings to close the distance, then this is where movement comes in handy. Usually your best bet is to simply juke them, since if they miss you, their skill will probably go on cooldown. Also, try not to get tunnel visioned while trying to avoid an offense skill user, since you still have bombs to worry about, and honestly it's not even really guaranteed you'll be going up against a particularly dangerous offense skill user. Now, if the offense skill user is specifically targeting you and ignoring everyone else for whatever reason, then they'll probably start to become a major issue. In this case, you could equip an offense skill yourself so that you're able to defend yourself or kill whoever's attacking you, or you can bring something like heal or force field in anticipation of the increased tomfuckery you'll be dealing with. If it starts getting really bad, you're probably just best server hopping or even blocking them if they follow you from server to server, but it's unlikely anyone who's cool enough to watch my videos would ever make such an enemy. Oh, and if you yourself want tips on how to use offense skills in 5.0, I don't really have much to say other than just don't be stupid and stay alive. And if you want advice on which ones to use, free staff, caltrops, and fake coin are pretty fun and viable. But this kind of waddles into the territory of skill and perk recommendations. Now, these aren't really related to actual moment-to-moment gameplay or tips that will help you get better at Super Bomb Survival, so I won't be spending too much time on this section. First, make sure that your skill and perks synergize in some way or cover all your needs. For example, if you have a defensive or healing skill, try to find a movement secondary, or if you're using something like Big Saber, consider using Super Magnet. Also, try to pick your loadout based on what you feel like you're lacking. If you find yourself in a pinch-off, then bring Force Field. If you find yourself taking damage out of what feels like nowhere, bring Heal. If you find yourself in positions you really don't want to be in, try Super Jump or Double Jump, etc. Also, don't buy Featherfall. It sucks. And now, for the last section of the video. The hidden truth of Super Bomb Survival. The truth is, your biggest enemy aren't the offense skill users or the bombs, but your biggest enemy in Super Bomb Survival is the RNG. That's not a joke. During my 200 hours of playing Super Bomb Survival, I've learned that this game is, in fact, sentient and despises you and will do everything in its power to ruin your life. It's an omniscient force controlling the game from the shadows. It's the force that always makes sure that when you get launched you fall into the one tile that has lava. It's the force that flings a burning brick into you whenever you use wings. It's the force that always gives you the worst skills when you buy from the shop. And it's the force that always makes sure that when anything launches you, you get murdered by lava even though you're 50 feet in the air. And I'm gonna tell you how to deal with it. First, you should know that the Super Bomb Survival RNG is cunning and always thinking up ways to make your experience miserable. You should make sure to always beware of traps it sets for you. Like if you see a gem, you should approach it with caution. Always be conscious of everything and try to be very careful with jumping on gems and lava, since that's when it likes to strike most. And now for the most important tip of... Looks like they found me. I'll have to go. See you guys.